Hi, this is Dustine from Two Lucky Cats. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a Halloween skull ornament. Alright, the first step to make the ornament is to cut out your pattern pieces, and you'll need a front and a back piece to make the ornament. And when you cut your pattern out, this is my original pattern, you want to cut out the eyes and the nose because you're going to use this, trace it on with your disappearing marker because this is going to be your pattern to make your stitches. So on one side of the pattern, just trace using the disappearing marker, of course. Don't use the kind that you have to wet. You trace your eyes and your nose. Now there's another piece that looks like this, and this is just another piece that you use to trace the mouth on. So just kind of position it like this, and you're going to use that for your stitching line for the mouth. Now once you have that done, you can start with your stitching. And I just used, as you can see on one of the ornaments, I started in the corner with a bead, and then I made a stitch and a bead and a stitch and so on and so forth, and I did that around both eyes and then the nose. I did the mouth, I didn't bead it, but I just used a running stitch, and I started at one side and went to the other side. Now I also included teeth, so all I did once I finished the stitching was I just drew teeth in like this. Now to make the stitching, what I did was I just came up here, right here, and made a stitch, and then I came back down around and made another stitch and went down through again, and then just went around, and that's what I did to stitch on all the teeth, as you can see here. So that will finish your stitching for the details here on the front of the on the ornament. Now the next thing you want to do is attach the flowers to the top of the skull. And in my pattern I did include a smaller set of petals and a larger set of petals, but that's because I'm a little crazy. So if you want, you can either use the same pattern for both set of petals, or you can only put one set of petals on if you want to reduce the amount of cutting and stitching, or really cutting, that you're going to do. So the best way to do it really is to lay out the three flowers, and I just put one on here and one on the other side, and then I tried to center the one in the middle after I put on the other two on the sides. And I just attached them with 4 seed beads, and that'll complete the decorating of the top side of the skull. Now the final step, of course, is to put the two pieces together. And I used, you want to put your loop on to hang it. And in this case, I used baker's cord, but you can use string or ribbon, whatever your preference is. And I centered it right in the center of the skull, in between the two pieces of felt. And I put about an inch down in between the two pieces so it doesn't pull out easily. And I begin by attaching it. I start in between so the knot doesn't show, and I come up right here in the middle of the two pieces of string, and I make a running stitch, but I go back and forth over it 3 or 4 times to help secure the hanger to the felt. And then once I do it, I make it just very close to the edge here because I'm going to come over to the one side and start with the overcast stitch. And I do that about maybe 2 or 3 times to make sure that this is secure. Then I just continue on around with the overcast stitch until I get maybe about here. And then I put some fiberfill in it to give it some dimension. Once I think I have enough fiberfill in, then I just continue on till I end up where I started. I do about 2 or 3 more overcast stitches, and I knot them every time, and then I cut it off, and that completes the ornament. Now I do want to say that you have a lot of choices here in terms of, you know, what color choices. Nowadays people use both purple and green for Halloween, so you can use purple and green, orange and black. You can combine the different colors. There's a lot of different things you can do to make these look different. The choice is really yours. If you enjoyed this project, check out our website because we have a lot of free projects there, and we're always adding new ones. So this is Dustine. Until next time, at twoluckycats.com.